Hey everyone, wanted to give a week 2 update to the build and how it's going. Overall, it's extremely strong, and I'm going to go over all the upgrades and everything that I've done and how far I've progressed so far. But I just happened to start this video right before fighting Veritania, so I'm just going to go ahead and show what pretty much a typical boss kill of this build looks like. So let's go ahead and do that now. There it is. So pretty much the only thing that takes some time, and I got a little bit unlucky there, was it depends on how fast I can get my power charges to 11. And that was an I-81 Veritania, and pretty much that's how all bosses go. Literally just one shot. Just because the obscene amount of damage this build has. It's really pretty staggering. So I'm going to go ahead and just go back to my hideout and show all of the gear, pretty much what I've done since I believe my last update was on that I made was back on the 24th, I believe. So it's been about a week. So definitely due for an update. Also, I did find a pair of Skyforth while running that map, which was pretty first pair of Skyforth ever. Anyways, in terms of the gear, so definitely made some upgrades. So I do have both of my +1 power charge rings. I will make a disclaimer that this build is now in the pretty absurd amount of currency invested into it. As it stands, I think I have somewhere in the vicinity of like 175 exalts invested into this build, give or take, depending on prices of certain things that vary day to day. But I do have both of my +1 power charge rings now, and I crafted this helmet. It's not perfect by any means, but it's pretty damn good. It has the +1 power charge, and the nearby enemies take 6% increased LE damage, which I did with an Awakener's Orb. I then, with it, I hit this perfect Tier 1 Lightning, and I hit that crappy Tier 9 Mana. What I did next was I blocked a suffix, and I actually had an augment harvest influence craft prefix. Or actually, no, it was just augment a influenced modifier. So I looked and I checked, and there was really no good suffixes, so I blocked a suffix, and I decided to craft a prefix. Unfortunately, didn't really hit anything good. I just hit that level 16 AoE. So just has that there. I might actually try to Maven Orb this to see if I hit the 1 and 3. If it takes off the AoE and hits either the +1 power charge or the LE damage, this helm would be fucking GG. And I could craft life on it and it'd just be insane. But again, that's a 1 and 3, so it's kind of eh. And I put my Aspect of the Cat now to fill that last open suffix. So overall, this is a really solid helm. If I can Maven Orb this and it hits the 1 and 3, this helm would practically be perfect. Except for the fact that I do have a very interesting league project. I want to do this league. I want to try to get a helm with +2 power charges. And the way you do that is, as this helm already has, the +1 power charge from Warlords. But on top of that, you would have to corrupt for the second power charge. So you can actually hit a +1 power charge implicit corruption. But it's pretty rare, and it would be definitely challenging to get. I also do want to get it with the enchant, which makes it another level of difficult, because now I have to buy certain helms. I can't just val every single helm that has +1 power charge, because I do want to have the discharge radius as well. So that's actually a project I've kind of been starting on. You can see here I already have these discharge helms with Warlords, and I have these just LE damage helms. These helms are actually pretty expensive. They're like 70 to 90 chaos each. I paid just because of the Shaper modifier, and once I just hit the +1 power charge, these will be ready to Awakener Orb once I get to that. So interesting project on the helm that I'm eventually going to try to do. We'll see how that goes. So got the +1 power charge rings, Inya's Epiphany, that hasn't really changed. I did end up going with breast dealers. The glove slot for this build is interesting because you really have many options. I actually also found a pair of Asinauts from a blighted map, which was insane. I opened up a unique chest, and there I saw, boom, silk gloves in a white box with the good brown unique text. I'm like, what the hell? Clicked on it, and yep, sure enough, it was Athanath's Gentle Touch, and I actually end up running those for about 2 days. However, once I kind of thought about it, the breast stealers I think overall are a better option, because you get to add the elusive to the build, which is pretty crazy because of Badge of the Brotherhood. It's not perfectly divine, but I can get 10% increased effective elusive per power charge. And right now, I'm currently running at 11 power charges, so that's 110, possibly a max of 110% increased effective elusive. If I hit the +2 helm, that's going to be 12 power charges. So that's going to make it even more crazy. So yeah, no witnesses. It's I had to go with breast stealers. I ended up selling the Asinauts. So yeah. Did pick up a Bottled Faith. I bought this for 10x. I threw about 7 or 8 divines into it, and I ended up hitting 1.96, which is near perfect. Unfortunately, the duration is kind of low. It's only 31, but it doesn't really matter in the long run, seeing as I'm pretty much spamming this flask over and over again, so there's really no... the duration's not that important, but the 1.96 crit chance is really nice, so... Next upgrade I got was I did end up buying a pretty much near perfect Watcher's Eye for this build. I paid 15x for this Watcher's Eye, so pretty nice considering the rolls. It's pretty much perfect rolled. Just one off the crit multi, perfect pen, perfect pen. The life and mana ES doesn't really matter that much. Those aren't rolled too well, but the crit pen and the pen and the crit multi is what really matters. So got these two. Got this Watcher's Eye, so that's really nice. So pretty much what am I working towards now with this build? Again, I have about 175x, give or take, invested. The Feral Spur is also done pretty much. It's perfectly divine. I have the Life Enchant. I have perfect Discharge colors. It's 5 off for blue, so it's pretty hard to come by. I think the rings are currently going about 45 exalts each for the +1 power charge. This replica Feral Spur in particular would probably sell for like 25 exalts. The helm like this, even like this one, and not perfect. I don't know. It's probably like 10x. The Bottled Faith. Anyways, there's just a lot of currency already invested in this build, and it's pretty expensive. But it can definitely still have some improvements to make. So again, the helm is one thing. The next thing I do need to also improve is pretty much all my jewels. My cluster jewels are actually pretty good. I have Corrosive Elements, Doriani's Lesson here. I could exalt this because these two notables are quite rare together, but I'm not going to do that yet. And I hit this one, Prismatic Heart, Sadist, Widespread Destruction, which is also quite nice, basically because it doesn't have Vengeful Commander, which is absolutely useless. So any 3-prop without Vengeful Commander is pretty much a win. So those are pretty nice cluster jewels. But the other big upgrades I have to do is pretty much all my regular jewels. Right now, which I'm running, have just 1 life roll and 1 multi-roll. And then some other stat or 2 that are kind of random, but can still help, like crit chance or like area damage. I think I have on some of these, yeah, like area damage, crit chance. But ideally, actually, what I'm going to start slowly building is getting life and 2 multi-rolls on every single jewel. So right now, my multi with discharge is at 416. If I end up getting a second multiplier on every single jewel and I have 11 jewels, that's going to take it up probably by another 150 or so multi. So definitely still missing quite a bit of damage that I can still actually get on this build. And then going for the +2 power charge on the helm, which is again that's going to be a really long project because it's probably going to take a lot of helms to do that. And what's nice now is we can buy the tier 3 corruption room. We don't have to do the whole vouching, the whole Discord streaming. We don't have to do any of that crap anymore. We could just buy it and run it ourselves, which is really nice. Saves the effort of getting possibly scammed and all that annoying stuff. So really nice overall. I do still think I need to, yeah, I need a Valdis Enlighten, so let's see if we get it. And we didn't, that's okay. I did hit a level 4 earlier, and now I'm just using it, so can't get lucky on all of them. But anyways, that is the updates to the Discharge Slayer. I think at the moment I am the #1 damage discharge on PoE Ninja. Which is kind of skewed because I think most of the dischargers playing right now are using Ignite, and they're using that like Realm Ender's staff or something. And so it's a bit of a different version that does indeed not do as much damage, but because I think it's non-crit and they just scale Ignite. So, but anyways, the build is really strong. Again, pretty much one-shots every boss. This is how my Atlas is currently looking. Basically, endgame Atlas at this point. I have a lot of the Uncharted Realms done. I have now done Uber Elder. I've done Shaper. I've done Maven a couple times. This is actually my first league I'm getting this far because last league in Ritual, I didn't really play a lot of it because I was in the middle of my term. So I didn't actually get to really endgame. I never fought Maven. So this is actually the first league I fought Maven. Killed her twice. Really great boss fight. So much better than Cirrus. Killed Cirrus plenty of times now at Awakener level 9. Yeah, this wasn't a problem. Not deathless, but it's still... I pretty much phase all these bosses instantly, and it's just one-shots. I think, based on my POB, every single one of my discharges, if it hits the crit, which it usually does, because my crit chance is pretty damn high, and if they're standing on the consecrated ground with the bottled faith, I think my just single discharge damage is anywhere from like 30 to 50 million. So pretty much I phase most bosses instantly, and they just kind of die. Yeah, I've done all the Shaper Guardians, I've done all the Elder Guardians, I have done all these rewritten, or all these synthesis maps. The only thing I still have, I've done Chiyula actually, but I forgot to click the stupid Maven button, so I have to run that again now. I haven't done Cortex yet. I have done Uber Ziri, yeah, Uber Elder. I mean, pretty much all the endgame bosses are down now. For Uber Ziri, it was funny. I actually had to run a Sybil's Lament and pick up the what is it? The Yugal Pantheon, because I literally was one-shotting myself, and even my my power charge Stormbrand generator was doing too much damage with the reflect. So I literally had to get 100% reflect immune to do that boss, because otherwise I was just instantly killing myself to the reflect. So pretty crazy stuff. My plate is pretty high. I'm at about 9 days of total playtime. Probably maybe like 12 hours of that is AFK, but nevertheless, it's still a lot of time. So I have been playing a lot. I'm on break right now. I don't have any classes. My term is starting in about 1 week though, so gonna play for a little longer, but then it's gonna slow down a bit. So I mean, the build is already in extreme endgame, and just never thought I'd get this far in just 2 weeks, but here we are. So I think that's all I have left. I have done 2 full simulacrums as well. One of them was completely deathless. There is a weird simulacrum bug where the uniques aren't dropping. It's like not dropping the guaranteed 1 unique that you're supposed to get. I've done 2 simulacrums now, and I haven't gotten a delirium unique. So that's also kind of weird, but hopefully they fix that, or I don't know if it's intended, but anyways. Yeah, the build works really well. It can pretty much handle all content. Can't do everything deathless. It's not a glass cannon per se, but it still can get one shot from time to time. So it's not a build that's super crazy tanky. Again, I'm using stuff like the elusive. I'm also just using other things to just help out. What's nice is with the 11 endurance charges up, I actually do have a significant amount of phys damage reduction. But if I discharge, it's not up all the time because I am discharging the charges, so that's something to keep in mind. But the other main kind of source of defense that I have is just my leech. So I am still a slayer, so I do leech, and I have leech on I think one of these guys, the Doriani's lesson. So yeah, 0.2 LE damage leeches life. So that also kind of helps just sustain. I might actually pick up another one of these nodes if I can somewhere. But anyways, I think that's going to be it for this update. Nothing else really to report. Again, just poured a lot of currency into this build, and this is where it stands now. It's pretty damn strong. There is some other things I could do as well, such as try to do the rage mechanic where I use the what's it called? What's it called? I have it here already. The lethal pride, and there's I think it's called chain breaker, and then I use divergent berserk. That's something I'm looking at, but I haven't really messed around with that yet, so I may try that, but I haven't done it yet. I still have a 3-link that I'm just leveling gems in, so I could still have another 3-link to potentially use for some kind of utility as well, which I haven't done so far. But yeah, I think that's it for this update. I will make another one maybe next week and see where the build is at that point. So I hope you guys are having a good league, and leave any questions or comments down below, and I will try to answer all of them. So thank you guys for watching this update, and I will see you guys on the next update in about 1 week.